What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Scale News Update. If you're not familiar with the show, that's where we talk about the news topics that happened in the scale world of RC over the last week. This week, another busy week. Hit the like button and let's jump into it. Hoonigan, like the actual Hoonigan, has released RC sticker sets. This is made up with more appropriately sized stickers for your RC vehicles. Kind of cool to see them specifically make a product aimed at RC. They're obviously very familiar with RC. They repost a lot of videos from like RC Lemonade or Fresh Squeezed RC. I think he goes by one of the other two, where he's got the, miniature version of the Hoonigan burn yard or their loading dock area. Either way, cool to see that. Hop over to their website, pick up some of those stickers if you're interested. I'll put links to them in the description below. Next, we've got some new releases from Vanquish Products. The first one is a new Underdrive gear set for the AR44 axles, or also the AR45 and Capra axles. Now, this is like an overdrive gear set that you've seen available before, but underdrive. So it's got a deeper ratio than the stock gears. Now this is nice because you actually increase the gear ratio in the axle rather than lessen it. So you'll reduce torque twist even further, but you'll still get the same effect that an overdrive gear set would produce. So you can take this, put it in the rear axle rather than a front axle in a traditional setup, gain that overdrive percentage or percent difference between the axles. This will help improve your steering and your climbing ability. Again, this works in any of the SCX-10.2, SCX-10.3, Capra, VS410, etc. These were released just on Friday last week, so they're just on their way out to the dealers now. You can check them out in the link below. And while you're shopping for those gears, you can also look at new portal gears for the Axial SCX-10.3 and Capra. Vanquish now has a standard ratio gear set and an overdrive ratio gear set that you can pick up for those vehicles. So this will really give you the ability to tune around that SCX-10.3 or Capra, especially when you combine it with the underdrive gears. Now you can maybe get exactly the gear ratio you're looking for and keep things in a nice reasonable area compared to what it was from the factory. And with all of that SCX-10.3 talk, of course, you probably saw already the new release from Axial with the new SCX-10.3 Gladiator. This is a proper looking scale Gladiator. A long wheelbase was needed to achieve the proper proportions of this truck. 13.9 inch wheelbase on this new vehicle, but I think it really looks good. And I personally myself like a longer wheelbase on 1.9s, even with this size of tire. It's going to drive a lot different than your standard 12.3. But just because it's a long wheelbase wouldn't be something that would make me shy away from it. Now the wheelbase was all added in the rear links, so you're going to have very long rear links, and that's likely going to decrease the amount of triangulation in those links slightly as well. So you may want to look for any side effects caused by that design change. Now Axial did shorten the rear overhang of this to try and make sure that performance was still in check, and I like that design decision that they made. It's got a rear bed cage that kind of, that expedition rack styling, and they decided to go that route and negate the interior cage that's inside of the body compared to the SCX-10.3. However, they did maintain the interior on the inside of the body, so big bonus there. The rear bed has a significant drop bed design. It's not just a flat bed across the back. Cool to see that extra step taken as well. And being that this is a multi-piece body, looks like we could have some pretty cool options to run the cab of that Jeep on some custom builds. Like most of the Axial releases as of late, this is coming in two color options, a red, not an orange, even though it looks very similar to the color of the JL RTR, but it's gonna come in a red and like a gunmetal gray look. And you're looking about $20 more expensive on the JT version versus the JL. The rest of the running gear inside is exactly the same. Dig is set up out of the box. The 2-speed is installed, but there's no servo on it. You'll still get the DX3 radio, same steering servo, everything else the exact same. These are available for order right now, and like the rest of the stories, linked in the description below. For some of you custom builders who have been picking up those 2021 New Bright hard body Bronco sets, something I ran across on Facebook today was from Tan Woodworks, and he has created a clear Lexan window set for that body. So you can get rid of that dark plastic molded window set that comes in it, and you can put a proper clear set of windows in this thing. He's a small operation, so you may have to wait a little bit, but if you're building with that body, it's probably worth spending the 45 bucks that it costs to pick up that set. You're not gonna find that anywhere else. Hit him up. I'll link his Facebook page below. Next, we have a release from Tamiya, or I think this is actually a re-release, but this is the Tamiya SCIROCCO GT. This is coming on the TT01E chassis, and you know, it's just one of those hot hatch style. Just gonna go ahead and say that I think this looks better than the Yaris that I ranted about a few weeks ago, but Tamiya just teased this recently. The part number is available for it though, and you know that the price is going to be fairly affordable being what platform that it's on. And if you're a VW fan looking for a new on-road project, maybe this is one that you can add to your list. And speaking of on-road, monthly mayhem is continuing. Matt and I going head to head, trying to make the Traxxas TRX6 AMG 63 the fastest 6x6 we possibly can, with a number of rules added onto it. Last Wednesday, we released week 3. Matt bested me by 1 mile per hour, hitting 57 miles per hour with that TRX6 when I only managed 56. But this coming Wednesday, you'll see the semi-final video to this series. Only 1 week left after that. You'll see Matt and I testing out our most recent changes. Matt posted a picture on Instagram today that made it look like his testing didn't go quite as well as mine. I had a busy weekend working on the vehicle and have a ton to cover in this week's video. Make sure you can check it out Wednesday morning right away. Well, hello. Can I help you? And for any of you guys who are PC hardware or PC gaming fans, Matt and I will be joining the guys over at EVGA for a live stream this Friday at 3 p.m. Pacific time. And during that stream, they're going to be giving away a bunch of nice PC hardware, including some nice graphics cards, some motherboards, a number of other things. So on Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific time, you can check that out. There'll be links to the giveaway in that live feed. And Matt and I will both have some social media posts up beforehand to let you know where to watch. You're not helping. I'll link to the EVGA channel in the description below. I'll make sure and post a link to the stream on social media on Friday as well, and you can check out the giveaway in that video. And then let's jump into a bunch of news about the upcoming events that were scheduled for 2020. We'll cover these in the order that the news was released. First, Scale Nationals for 2020 has been postponed until 2021. I don't think that's any surprise to anybody, and I don't think most of these event announcements will be a surprise. So officially, Scale Nationals has been moved 2021 sometime. It's going to happen still in Vegas area. And then next, just before filming this video, there was an announcement from the town of Apple Valley, California, where Proline by the Fire is hosted, that they are closing indefinitely Horsemans Park due to a no longer functioning well on the property. This well is said to be used for watering the trees and the bathrooms. And from what they posted, that was causing the park to be indefinitely closed. Now, as of me filming this, Proline has not announced that they're canceling Proline by the Fire, but with them announcing that they're not going to reopen the park until they drill a new well, and knowing the speed of which public works projects usually move, it doesn't seem like a high likelihood that it's going to happen. So we'll watch for that news to be officially posted. If I was to guess, I would assume that today that you're watching this video, you'll see that announcement. But don't assume that I'm correct in that assumption. Definitely go check the event page for Proline by the Fire to see an official announcement and keep up to date with any news regarding the event. Speaking of Proline, let's switch back to one more positive piece of news before we end this video, and that is that the Proline Malibu body is now officially available. All the photos have been released. It looks just as good as we thought. Yet another no prep body that I feel like I need to add to my fleet of non-running drag cars. And with all of those bodies that I own, And with all those bodies that I own, you can pick up the new Proline scoops that have also been fully released with all of the images available. If you're really looking to add a scoop to one of the bodies you have also, here you go. I think they look okay. They look about like what I expected Lexan scoops and blowers to look like. And since she's just all up in my space today, for this week's question, what kind of pets you got at home? She's getting quite large already and definitely going to get much bigger. Before you go, make sure to go enter again for the 50,000 subscriber giveaway truck, which is right there on the shelf. There'll be more content on that truck released before too long. Just got to get monthly Mayhem out of the way first. But that's going to do it for this week's Scale News Update. Thanks again for joining us. Don't forget to hit the like button before you leave. Subscribe if you're not already, and hit the notification bell so you see the videos as soon as they get uploaded. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome rest of the week, and we'll see you on the next one. What?